Milk before meat. It's the TVM show with Spencer L. Jensen, putting your shoulder to the wheel. Previously on True Believing Mormons, Spencer interviews a Latter-day Saint male who struggles with same-sex addiction.
Do you behave gaily when your priesthood leaders' backs are turned?
I live the church's law of chastity, if that's what you mean.
Excellent. There may be hope for you yet, but what's funny is that you don't look gay. Do you dress gay?
That look like?
How on earth would I know? I don't expect you to know how straight people dress. I'll admit you don't sound gay, except when you say things like, "I'm gay."
I wasn't always as open in the past as I am now.
To avoid contagion.
No, it's because it was a very difficult thing to share with people, especially when words like evil and abomination are thrown around. It feels like I couldn't even be who I am.
David, God has for each of us as his unique children with unique goals, desires, dreams, and preferences, a simple cookie-cutter plan that we're to implement throughout our lives, but now you're making it pretty daggone complicated. Let's talk about appropriate language. A gay woman is called a bear claw.
Lesbian.
Gay man is called a
Sinner?
You know, I've always wondered, how come gay men don't get their own special name to distinguish them like lesbians? Is it 'cause Satan does everything bass-ackwards and gives the women the power in his culture?
We've still been given plenty of names, Spencer.
But regrettably not in the temple.
I've had a few pejorative names. You've heard them before, I'm sure, Spencer.
Perhaps, but true believing Mormons don't resort to labels and name-calling. That's something that the Gentiles, apostates, seed of Cain, Protestant ministers in Satan's service, and other members of the great and abominable church of the devil do. Girl-on-girl action is much more commonplace from what I've heard about MTV. Maybe it's a slightly lesser sin to get your foot in the proverbial door of the S&M bar, a gateway sin.
If premarital sex is the sin next to murder, then would homosexual love be worse than that? Is homosexual love next to murder?
Well, I'm glad you're here to set the record straight, because you're certainly more in tune with Hollywood and worldly trends than I.
I can't speak for all gay people out there.
But any Latter-day Saint worth his salt can recite precisely what the Lord has dictated on pretty much every conceivable topic. Do you mean to say that the homosexual left doesn't have a similarly comprehensive and universal belief system set in stone for its members? David, I want you to know that I love you unconditionally, as one brother loves another. And I know, with every fiber of my being heterosexual, that the things we've covered today...
Will David find appropriate cover to shield himself from Spencer's drive-by testimony? Find out next week on True Believing Mormon. If you would like a transcript of this week's episode, get out a pen and paper and write down everything we just said. That will do.